We have this from CNN. U.S. lawmakers introduce bill to ban TikTok. They say Senator Marco Rubio, the top Republican on the Senate Intelligence Committee, and a bipartisan pair of congressmen in the House reflects the latest escalation by U.S. policymakers against the Chinese-owned short-form video app. TikTok has faced doubts about its ability to safeguard U.S. user data from the Chinese government. I'm pretty sure it just sends your data to the Chinese government, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
And do you think it should be banned?
I do think it should be banned. And you've seen this with Huawei. Huawei's made entrance into a lot of developed countries. It's been proven time and time again that they are spying on them. They're collecting data. This is exactly what TikTok is doing. We need to be very clear that China is our greatest adversary in the world. We do know that, right? And I think we need to be acting as such.
What should we do about TikTok? Ban it? Get rid of it?
Well, essentially, they're doing what the DHS and NSA are doing here domestically inside of the United States. I think the bigger answer would be to make people aware that everything they do online isn't private. Everything is being collected. There's entire data centers that the United States is financing through your tax dollars that literally create personality traits about who you are, what you're going to be doing. And
Zuckerberg knows when you poop.
Exactly. And that's the lowest level of it.
But it's not just about that. It's about how TikTok is feeding all this woke stuff. So we're talking about what's going on in schools. TikTok is a huge component of crushing the brains of young people in this country.
Yes, exactly. Look at Chinese TikTok versus U.S. TikTok, right?
Right.
I mean, it's incredibly different, the type of algorithm that's being pushed here in the United States. It's trying to be culturally destructive. It's trying to be divisive. I think it is a huge problem. I do.
Tax the e-thoughts.
Yeah.
The IRS is already doing that.
That's the crazy thing, too, that we've talked about with like Instagram. Somebody was mentioning how they searched for I can't remember what they're talking about. You search for anything on Instagram, and it's going to be some kind of sexualized content with women and like
Rule 34.
No, I guess, but like not creating porn, but like you will just search for, action sports or something, and then they will find a way to feed, or I should say young women are finding a way to make content seem sexual because it gets them clicks. The algorithm is generating this. Then you have OnlyFans. That's the direction we're going. All of these things are just components and it all falling apart.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
Well, it goes back to that generational transmission, too. I mean, if we were transmitting values, norms, generationally to Zillennials and everybody else now, would they be doing those things? I'm not exactly sure now. Nope. We're like in a society of me, and that's kind of what drives all of this.
It's crazy, man. I'm reading some of these stories. There was like some woman accused of murder, and she's like, she's going to pay her bail with OnlyFans money. And I'm like, that's just so crazy. These stories about women who are like millionaires now, they figured it out. Just get naked on the internet and there's money waiting, but it doesn't work for everybody.
Ladies, secure your bag. All right. That being said, it is probably not a good idea to have an OnlyFans.
Think about where we end up in 10 years. A woman who is 26 is making a bunch of money on OnlyFans.
Millions.
Not all of them. Yeah. Some of them,
What's the average? I think the average is actually pretty low.
Yeah, the average is bad.
It's like not even like $70, I think, or
but that's because
but that's like most people aren't going to make money. But of the women who do, what happens in 10 years? They're 36.
I have really, really bad opinions about this, and it's making me nervous.
Well, now you got to tell everybody.
Well, because it's a young person's game, and there are so many young ladies that are told that because that mistake being young for being pretty, and then they're fighting in this slew of young people, right? Young women, where they're just young. They're not really particularly pretty. It's like they get this idea that, because the 5 guys that keep hitting on me over at the bar keep hitting on me and won't go away, I must be hot. Then they get on OnlyFans, and then next thing you know, there's OnlyFans or only girls on OnlyFans posting their L's, posting these comments from these horribly broken women that thought, I'm pretty and I'm going to get on the internet and I'm going to make a lot of money because guys think I'm pretty, and then the internet treats them like horrible. But it's rough. It's not okay.
The point I want to make is, you get a woman, let's say she's attractive and 26. 10 years goes by, now she's 36. A lot of the guys have either paired up or are no longer interested because they want a 26-year-old. But she's still probably doing well. An attractive woman in her 30s is going to do all right. 46. Now, what happens to a woman who has no discernible skills because she spent a couple decades doing OnlyFans? Now she's in her late 40s. What does she do? Does she open like an OnlyFans network to court young talent and manage their accounts for them or something? Don't need to. It's all automated through the system. Does OnlyFans, well, assuming OnlyFans lasts that long or something like this happens, these women will eventually get too old to be able to do this and make money. And then what? Then they go to the state and they say, it's the government's fault, they should pay me.
Yeah,
and that's
right.
not even without the AI and anime stuff that's coming our way.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
going to totally destroy society in many different ways. But I just looked it up. The average OnlyFans creator earns about $180 to $150 a month, according to the best estimates out there.
That is, can you imagine thinking that you're a pretty young girl at 20 years old, right? And like the only experience you've had is in town. Everyone has treated you like you're the hottest girl around because there's 30 girls that are young and pretty and you're the hottest of the 30, but put you in like, on the internet, and then you're competing with like beautiful women from all over the world, and then you get treated like crap because you're not as pretty as the prettiest, and it just destroys your self-esteem. It's just, I'm not saying that women shouldn't do it, and I'm not the guy that's going to judge people that do that. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But it's not as easy as people think. It's like I'm a musician and I'm in a band, and the chances of me actually succeeding for as long as I have, it is nobody is as lucky as I am. Like, it never happens. The fact that I've been doing this for 20 years as a professional musician, that wasn't even in the cards. I didn't think I'm going to start a band and I'm going to be successful. I thought I'm going to start a band and play on the weekends and work a day job for the rest of my life.
Right.
That's what I expected. And thankfully it didn't work out that way, and I'm super fortunate. But like, your average person, your average young girl that starts an OnlyFans account thinking that she's going to get beat up emotionally, and it's gonna hurt, and it
they can never take it back.
Yeah,
that content will always be on the internet. People will take pictures on their phones with another phone or something like that.
And you can never take it back, and it's going to come up in job interviews for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, like you're saying, I mean, the odds of becoming a millionaire at this, I mean, are so minimal. But secondarily, I mean, do you want to be in your 50s and 60s and trying to cling to relevance and trying to still live that lifestyle? It's just... that's a sad road.
I don't want to sound like I'm coming off judging anybody at all, because I understand that there are problems later in life that come along with it and stuff. But I really think the most of the damage happens to young people because of the expectation, and then when reality hits them. Because by the time you're 40, if you've been living that life, you know what's coming. It's like, if you've been living that life, you're 36, you're like, man, clock is ticking, and these things ain't up here anymore, they're down here, or whatever. It's like that. It's not like you're high. That's a secret.
Well, another aspect is that the market has become so competitive. It's not so. I think talking to some of the women out there, they have this notion that, I could just post whatever picture and I'll get millions of dollars. It doesn't work that way. A lot of the biggest earners work extremely hard on their content, on messaging people. They have PR teams. They have entire marketing teams that work with them. It's not just as some people think. Like, because again, on average, $150 a month. Yeah.
There's that old saying: every woman has boobs.
Every woman has boobs.
They give you that warning, but it's not true. Actually, I think the average amount of boobs is less than 2. The average amount of limbs is less than 2.
1.89 boobs per woman.
It is, because like, you get any individual who's had like an amputation or a mastectomy, and then it brings the whole average down. But my point is, like Luke is saying, there's a lot of women who think they're going to be successful at this, not realizing that there's 100+ million American women. You're competing with all of the ones willing to do it, which is a lot.
And
so that's like massive supply with like demand can only get as high as there are dudes, but supply is
and if you're
endless.
coming in cold, like you've never done any kind of social media stuff, they don't realize that like content is the driver. You have to keep feeding that content machine. So that means you got to post pictures every day, and you got to interact with the fans that are paying you, and blah blah blah. It's like,
and it's nonstop work.
Yeah,
it's like more than 9 to 5 in some instances.
I can't post on my Instagram page enough to feel like I am getting the most out of my Instagram page.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
if it sounds too good to be true, it's because it is.
Yeah,
right.
So,
I mean, it's
a lot of work. It's hard, and it's just, it sounds like it's, oh, look, this person makes millions, but yeah, that person is probably not just like waking up, taking a picture, and then going about their
yeah. I mean,
day.
like in your business, that's being like, oh, somebody sings and they make money. I'll start singing.
Yeah.
What?
It's not how it works.
Yeah.
That's what people think.
That is how they think.
What the song "Money for Nothing"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ain't working. That's the
Yeah.
way you do it. You
Money
play the
for
guitar on the MTV.
Yeah, that's a good song. Wasn't it like the band was they're like at a Best Buy or something? They overheard some guy say that or something like that.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. I haven't heard the story, but
urban legend.
Wouldn't
But
be
like I heard a story that they were at like a furniture store and they overheard two guys watching one of their music videos or watching music and like watching MTV or something, and then they were like, "That ain't working," that's the job we should get. And it's just like, yeah, it's probably more work. It's substantially more work. People think that like YouTube, for instance, they're like, man, I really want to do that. And I'm like, yeah, it's like endless work.
Mark wrote it after overhearing a delivery man in New York department store complain about their jobs while watching MTV. He wrote the song in the store sitting in a kitchen display they had set up.
There you go.
Many of the lyrics were things they actually said. That ain't working. That's the way you play the guitar on the MTV.
Money for nothing and the chicks for free.
Money for nothing and chicks for free.
And then a lot of these musicians end up doing drugs, becoming extremely depressed, hate their lives.
Yep.
And it's funny when you hear about these big bands that break up. And I remember growing up, you'd hear about a band that broke up or whatever. And then people would be like, why would they break up? They were successful. And it's like, yeah. And the other ones that don't do a bunch of heroin.
Yeah.
Right? It must not be all that great.
All that remains is we have had one person pass away a couple of years back. One guy, I was an alcoholic or am an alcoholic. I don't drink anymore. So that kind of like the lifestyle is real. We've gone through more drummers, probably gone through as many drummers as Spinal Tap, I think, like 7 or 8 of them. We go through drummers like mad. It's hard to play blast beats and double bass, man. That stuff's hard.
Wait until you find out about child celebrities. And,
Oh, man.
and the people that Disney brings up.
Oh God, I don't want to.
It's crazy, man.
I talked to Eliza Blue, like she's on Twitter and stuff. We're mutuals and stuff, and hearing that poor woman, like she is so damn strong, and the work that she has done is really, really, really great. And hearing the the stories that she's related, it's I don't envy that poor soul. She is she's done great work, but man, she has paid.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.